Right, you're in a moment. But Annie, she's writing it.
You mean,
Well, you are really the same person, and your names do rhyme. They're like both 5 letters. They're both N and I. They're both second letter A. D-A-N-N-I. Danny. I decide what your name is. Right, there you go. Right. Agreed. Right. Right, 3.2, let's get going. Yes. Gary is right there. That's a bit. No, but it can come up. Okay. Well, then maybe it's done. Okay. Okay. All right. 3.2. Right. Off we go from 3.2. Right, guys, let's not waste this time. Your lives are busy. They are on Teams. Okay, but I want you to try without them. Okay. Right. Right. 5 minutes of work. Go. Then I'll go over 3.2. No, you can do another paper. See you later.
If I haven't. What? Not everybody has no, I don't oh, please, can I give a snub of your I never give somebody.
Come on. Hey, guys, let's not waste this time, please.
Chicken. Oh my gosh. So
It's like a chicken that is sprinkled with icing sugar.
It looks like a chicken nugget. It's so cute.
All right. Try.
So are we explaining calculation?
Try. Just try. Pick your neighbor and go for it. Well, your job is to speak, Danny.
Sir. Great.
That's okay. Oh, that is fine. Yeah, it has to be positive and it has to add to it.
Let's eat the base.
Maybe. Next 2 weeks, I'm just going to lose your air. Guava. I don't hear that much guava. No, I want to study. I don't think that would ever end. But the better is I study. Guava. And then I'm going to see my mom get it the way I was on that.
Okay, so
Did you say that takes that you study like after school with this exam? Oh, I study it with that.
put it a bit more work, but I think well, let's tell you test. Okay, right.
So have you started marking?
No, but today's the day. Okay, right. So guys, what are the conditions about something being a probability density function? Okay, first of all, it's continuous. So this is continuous. Okay, both of these things are continuous. So that's not an issue. They're solid lines, they're not points, right? Okay, so they're continuous, that's not an issue. The second thing is function has to be above the x-axis, not because the y values are probabilities, because if you're using integrals to find area, and I find this area here using integration, it would come up as a negative answer. So if the function is below the curve, the probabilities are effectively negative. Okay, so a function has to be above the curve. Well, this one is above the curve. And the third condition, if it's a probability density function, the area under the curve for the defined region must be equal to what? 1, because that's the probability. Okay, there in brown is the area under the curve, and that area is equal to the area of a rectangle. You don't have to use, okay, it's 2 times 1, which is 2. So therefore, not probability function as the sum of the probabilities. So the integral of g of x with respect to x is not equal to 1. We used to say the area of the curve is not 1.
Do we have to show the calculation, sir?
No, you just said the area isn't 1. The area under the curve is not equal to 1, it's 5. As long as you understand that area is the probability.
But we get full answer just to say
Yeah.
it's right answer.
Does that make sense, guys? Okay.
Yeah, that's for areas. Well, I'm thinking when you say it's negative, so that.
So you say
Is that SG of x, and does that mean the area?
the integral of g of x.
So the integral is basically.
The area. So the area, in other words, probability is not equal to 1. Okay. Remember, integral means it's infinite sum. Okay. Right. So what's the problem with the next one?
It's below the
Okay.
x-axis.
So it's below, so h of x is less than 0, for all x between 0 and 1. Therefore, not a probability function. As you want to write this, you can as the integral between 0 and 1 of h of x would be less than 0. Right, so the next one. We don't really if I did this, the integral of xy squared with respect to y, then y is a variable and x behaves as a constant. But they're not going to do that now.
Yeah. What about you? So could you go back for a second?
Here's the answer for the first one. Here's the answer for the second one.
Oh, you probably was.
All they wrote, by the way, in the memo, those questions that for the first one, the memo said g of x has an area greater than 1. And for the second one, they wrote h of x has a negative probability. Thanks, more detail than you need.
So could you say it works? So what is the upside down of anything for x?
That's for all. That's for all. For all x could be more than 1, that means. Okay. Okay, right, what about that? Okay, right, next question. Okay, so with this one over here, right, 3.3. Okay. Right, quickly, 2 minutes, try 3.3. Remember, all your papers now are right on, eh? Okay. That's all right. Okay, so with right ons in a way, with right ons, illustrating things with your diagram is an explanation. Okay.
I mark it.
Out. Yes, I am there. I'm off.
Why don't you?
I'm on the walking pen, yes.
Yeah.
I'm marking your papers, but I'm not going to mark yours.
So why not?
It's not mark your own center, man.
So, just so you say, like, whether you're afraid, disassociate mark.
And you all got your exam number, by the way.
Wait, no, what do you have?
The diagram is an explanation. Okay, so let's have a look at the first one. Which of those variables, of those diagrams, T, U, V, W, X, or Y, has the largest median? So the key idea, guys, a median occurs where the probability to the left is 50% and the probability to the right is 50%. Okay? In other words, it chops the area in half. Okay, because area is probability. Okay. So in this case, the median.
Can you repeat that? The median occurs?
Where the median, what a median does, is it chops the area in half, under the curve. Because 50% of the data is to the left, and the probability to the right is also 50%, right? Okay. So the median is an X value, right? Okay. So here, your median, okay, well, to get half the area, the median's probably about there, right? That'd probably be maybe but there. That'd be the median over here. Okay, so that the median here would be whatever, 0.65 or something like that. Because that would be about half the area. An estimate, obviously. Yeah, where's the median going to be? At what? Okay, there's your median over there. Yeah, the area will also, the median also be at what? Yeah. Well, half the area is also going to be here, right? So the median would be at what? Yeah, though. You get half the area, we're probably sitting at about over there, right? But here, the median sitting in probably about 1.4, 1.5, around about there, right? And here, the median, once again, probably about 0.5, somewhere like that. Good. Okay, so the median, the largest median is 1.4. So the answer is X has the largest median. Okay. If you write a C diagram and you shade those in, I'll give you the marks. Okay. But X is the largest median. Median divides area in half. Maybe that's an answer. Fine. What are they write? X, the median is where the area is cut in half, and since there is a much larger area to the right, or midway, the X values, the median, because I promise you, it would give you the marks if you mentioned the area is in half. C diagram.
The median is where the area is.
Yes. Probability to the right of the median is 50%, and the probability to the left of the median is 50%.
What was the last one of their questions, sir, about the right?
They said X, the median is where the area is cut in half, and since there is a much larger area to the right of the midway, I would not write this. Of the X values, the median will be closer to 2. Don't need to write that down. Right. What is standard deviation? Average distance from the mean, right? So, where are things most spread out? Where are things far away from the mean? The mean here is still sitting in this diagram at about 1. Because what you got here, if you think of marks, you've got a whole lot of the probability of a kid getting 0% or 5, whatever it might be. I know this is whatever, that's okay. Getting those low values, there's a lot of people getting extreme values, right? Probability of getting a very low value is high, and the probability of getting a very high value is high. You agree? So if the probabilities are higher, it means there's more things are further away from the mean. Okay. Here, in all the others, it's not so dramatic. Okay. Your means, okay, would be kind of more evenly dispersed. Here, it's very obvious that your majority of data is far away from the mark in the middle. The mean would still be that. It's like having a class where 90 people, whatever, 15 people get 10% and 15 people get 90%. Your average is still 50, right? But your standard deviation is really big because the majority of people are far away from the mean. Okay. So your answer for question B, okay, is going to be W. High probabilities far away from the mean.
If you said the range of values is large.
Yeah, I will give you that. Anything about the data is spread out. Okay, you mentioned the word spread out, I give it to you. They said W as a higher and lower values are more likely. But okay, something about the data being spread out. Okay. Because what is standard deviation? Your average distance from the mean. Okay. Yeah, your average distance from the mean can be up.
Data is the most spread out.
Yeah, I accept that. Okay. I wrote the high probability is far away from the mean. As I said, the official memo was higher and lower values more likely. Okay. Still with me? Mission? Okay. Right, try C. C is a calculation, an integral calculation.
On our calculators or manual.
On your calculators, but you're going to first have to find the equation of the probability function. You all know how to find an equation of a straight line. What's after this today? I like them a lot, but it's, I don't know what to do.
So how unnecessary is it? Like really?
Okay, today we're
I
doing
want to go back to. Certainly this graph starts next page, which should be the group. Probably out there. Where is the next sentence? No. So are you part of the recruitment process?
teachers
No, not the next one. Because you sit on the board.
of the head.
And you're on the exco. You're on the exco.
No, that's something. No, I'm not part of the recruitment of the head, no. Okay.
So you're part of the exco, so.
No, but the expo isn't involved in choosing the head. The board chooses the head. Okay. All right, let's go, guys. Okay.
Y minus. Y.
Yeah.
Our school has the career.
I know. I don't want to have this. I'm being important. I don't want to have this conversation. Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Right. No, we're not having that chat because that's just your guys. Just you guys have a look. Okay. So each of the so it says find. So in the diagram, what are we looking for? Okay. Find the probability that T. So we're going to diagram T, and we know that the probability that's going to be less than 0.5. So we're looking for this area over here. That's the area we're looking for. You understand that? That's the answer to the question, right? Okay. So we're looking for this is T of X. So we're looking for the integral between 0 and 0.5 of T of X with respect to X. What's the problem? The equation, right? Right, go back to grade 1. Okay, when you used to go find equations of straight line graphs, okay, you can either use y minus y1 or y is equal to mx plus c. Okay, what's c? 1. What's your gradient? Okay, negative a half, right? Change of y, change of x. So y is equal to negative a half x plus 1 is your equation. Equation. Mx plus the straight line graph. Danny, remember that thing?
So we're gonna
Why
have to
intercept this
around
one?
the formulas and everything.
No. Hey.
Yes.
Well, you expected to know basically. Yeah, you expected to know. Theoretically, they can ask you anything, okay, on your core syllabus as well. But I do not expect you to go learn your core syllabus. No, I don't. Right, okay. Right, so we end up with negative half. Concentrate on FS. Don't go doing the whole. Good enough to do. Okay, so we're looking for the integral between 0 and 0.5 of negative a half x plus 1. Okay. with respect to x. So this is the probability that t is less than 0.5. Stick that into your calculator. Yeah. Of what kind of severity? The expected value is. Get that question because the one we did yesterday. Wasn't there a question about variance standard deviation to the test? Wasn't it? That's just the past paper. All right, what did you get the answer for this, Fatai? 7/60. All right, so your answer is 7/60.
So how do you know what you have to do manually? Like,
If you can do it, if you can do the calculator, do it with the calculator. The only time you can't do it with the calculator is when you find the median and you end up with the integral between 0 and m of whatever, x squared plus 5x. You can't put an m into your calculator. Then you're gonna have to do it manually, yeah?
This is going back to A.
Yeah.
How did you, with the figure, 5 and 6, was that just a guess about what median would be or use?
Okay, so the median, which is to my explanation for 5 minutes. Okay, the median, you chop the area in half, right? Okay, so for the area to be chopped in half, okay, here the median will be about here. Here the median will be here, here the median here, here the median will be there. Okay, here the median, that'll be half the area, that'll be half the area.
So you just,
So just by looking at the area, okay, and so you'd say, I would literally say C diagram. Okay. Mention that median divides the area in half.
yeah, that's
Just mention it and you find. Okay, I don't want this going here. You wouldn't. No, you would if you do the function. Okay, let's remind you how to find the median. Let's find it. Okay, I'm going to add a question. Okay, right. Go find the median of t. Good one, and then we'll have a break. Go find the median value of t. So if you remember how to do that. Okay, find the median value of t. Okay, so go try to find, everyone find the median value of t, and then it's probably time for a break. No, the median wasn't exist. The median was.
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna take our game, you guys.
Yes, you do. Yes, that's so
Winchester.
No, definitely. God, I thought I answered a question like that. No, well, yeah, that's just right. I really want to listen to more. Let me see.
Can show me the median.
never mind.
I don't know tropical waters like
What you square.
another one. I'm not being delusional, I swear. It was one, and it was like an end of day. What's the number?
So you know how you, I'm thinking about it. But yeah, it's part of this. Okay, I want you to divide by the you can choose one. Divide and half by 2. What's one?
I got this.
Yeah, you take the
And then
it's squared. No, it's squared.
Oh my god.
I seem to go there.
okay, well, we need to find the median again. So the median does what, guys? The median chops the area in half, right? Okay. So if we have, so I'm going to write A. Listen, I'm going to write M for median, right? Okay. There's my median over there. Okay. So to the left, between 0 and your median, what's the area? Okay. So between 0 and your median of the function, what is it? Negative a half x plus 1. So the area under the curve between 0 and m on that function must be equal to 0.5. Right, and then you've got this formula, the fundamental theorem of calculus says that the integral between a and b of f of x with respect to x is equal to the integral or the antiderivative, which we denote as that. Okay, well, that means go integrate this thing. What is our main process for integrating? What's the integral of x to the n? So, the fundamental law says that this is equal to x to the n plus 1 over n plus 1, which means what? You add 1 to the exponent and divide it by that new exponent, right? Okay. In addition, there's one other little trick you have to know, and that is what's the integral of, it's on your formula sheet, what's the integral of 1 over x with respect to x?
1 over 8.
Look at your formula sheet. You got a formula sheet here? Look in that table, remember?
It's just 1 over
Right here is integral, right? So the integral of x, the integral of 1 over x is ln of x. Means log base of x. I cannot get to that at this point, right? So those are the only two things you got to know.
Ask them not to put it in the test.
You said probably 3 months ago, this case. Okay,
Wait, it's 5 over.
right. Try break into the IEB, I don't know. Go put on your little ninja suit and go do your best. Okay, right. Okay.
What if we get this next to the
Okay, right. Okay, so now, how do we integrate? So we're going to, the next line is going to be that between 0 and m is equal to 0.5. So now I've got to integrate that. Okay, so what do? I'm going to show you, I wouldn't, okay. You're going to add, what's the present exponent? What?
Don't add to the x, don't add to the half as well.
No, so it's going to be negative a half. 1 plus 1 is 2. Okay, divide by that new exponent 2.
Yeah.
The integral of 1, well, 1 means 1x to the 0. So if you add 1 exponent, it becomes x to the 1, which is just x. Okay, so remember, the integral of 1 is x. The integral of 7 is 7. Okay. Sorry? N from? M is the median. There's no N. That's in general. That's just a general rule. N stands for the exponent. The 2, I added 1 to that exponent to get 2, and then I divided by that new exponent. You with me? That's what this is saying. Add 1 and divide by the new exponent. That's what the rule says. Okay, right. And then the integral of 1 is just plus x, right? What's a half divided by 2? Got a half a cake, you can chop it in 2. Got a quarter of a cake. Okay. So it's going to be negative a quarter x squared plus x between m and 0 is equal to 0.5. Now, okay, so we said this over here. Okay, so the fundamental law of calculus says that the integral between a and b of f of x with respect to x is equal to, we've done this bit over here, is equal to antiderivative between a and b, which means f of b minus f of a. Okay, which means you sub in the top number minus in brackets sub in the bottom number. So
I did it so well on the thing.
I'm so proud of you.
When did we need this?
Did it?
Yeah, we didn't.
Yes.
Oh my god. What are you doing?
Yes.
Danny, did you do it? You've got
I'm asking you 50 the day before. There is no median or mode in each end. This is the median.
Danny, I do this. Wait,
How did I, where did I see it?
when you said median, I just did the median.
I meant doing the mean and then doing the median.
Well, it's a move on, you just gotta cross it out, that's all.
So
So
are
it's finished.
you in the same question? The first question asks for the mean and the second question asks for the mean. I swear to God, if there is a different test. So are you going
All right, let me finish it. In the break, I'll see if anyone has a different test for the rest of you. Okay, right. So this is gonna be negative a quarter m squared plus m
That's.
minus, well, if I sub in 0, you just get 0, right? So you get negative a quarter m squared plus m minus 0.5. Right, stick that into your calculator and solve for m. Use equation mode of your calculator. Use equation mode of your calculator. Okay, so I subbed in m. Okay, exact. Okay, and then I subbed in m. If I subbed in 0, well, the whole thing becomes 0. Okay, if that's what you have to do. Okay, right. I end up with a quadratic.
Minus 0 and plus 0. Oh, because that's the, okay, sorry.
I sub in m, then I minus 0. Yeah, I'm using this guy. It says sub in f of b minus f of a. So I sub in m, I get negative a quarter m. If I sub in 0, it's 0. That's fine. It's fine to get two possible. Let's have a look. You should get two answers. Already. So what did you get? M is what? Tell me what you got. 3,4, 1, 2, 4, and
4.
whatever, yeah, or
Or 0.5.
so go back to your diagram and tell me which one is relevant. 0,
Which diagram?
8, what?
5, 8, 5, 7.
Yeah. 5, 8, 5, 7.
5, 8, 5, 7. Okay. So if you look at your diagram, which is relevant? 3,4 or 0,58? 0,58, because my diagram is only defined between 0 and 2. Okay, so 0,58 must be answer. Okay, the other answer is not relevant. So you just go back. The other answer, that's just an answer to a quadratic function, but nothing to do with this question. Okay. Yeah, you break it now. You can have a look.
I was like, I'm calling it straight ones, but it didn't find. It's actually, yeah, there's that. It's bad.
Random question. I've lost my
I saw a meme and I was like, oh, I can't remember how to do this. Median it is. And then 3,4,
Maybe I did. Maybe I'm.
Maybe you're thinking.
I don't know, whatever it's in
He wrote it wrong, but it sounds better than memory.
All right. And we get tests. That's fine. No.
I'm really hoping I just.
Yeah. Now, what do you think takes them off these?
No, we can argue. So can I mark my paper?
Daniela Sandberg.
Oh no. What did I do? So can you actually?
No, what did I do? Did I do?
Can you wait?
Did I do good?
What's that?
You know it's
You
bad.
didn't do this anyway. You didn't find the median anyway.
Did I not?
No.
Daddy, how do you do the past?
You must have done it in the past paper.
I remember so clearly.
You were
Daddy. Daddy was dreaming.
Bro, I nearly fell asleep on that.
Really?
You didn't do the median anyway.
I was like too hard.
More than I should.
No, you haven't done the median anyway.
So they're talking about for the rest of the
So can you show us how to do the PMF, please?
I'll go over the test tomorrow.
So you would have used the S infinity, yes, and I.
I'll go over the test now and if it went wrong, and then people start stressing. No problem. No, definitely didn't
I just thought that I would be better to the PMF. You didn't ask it. It's like it'll focus more on PDFs.
Because it's more difficult. You kind of start getting, Kiara.
Huh?
Kind of start getting thinking, oh, I'm going to get into the marker's mind and figure out what they're going to ask.
No, sir, I just thought this PMF dude is kind of irrelevant. No, I thought PDF is the hot popular cousin. So I thought let me
study PDF and then I completely forgot about PM. What I thought of it. Now do we need it? Oh.
Virtual is working.
No, it's keeping. So they should have been like the last one and then. No, not even just for that time. No, I feel like it's a good Friday. I'm really one day a week. Yes. St. David's every Wednesday, they end at 1. I know. We should end at 1 on this Friday. So you just call it off in 2 days. We should do it. Yeah, we should do it. Why does it take us? Replace, like, just take 6. Or instead of having the stupid Friday workshop, you should just have a drink sit down. Yo, please, why do we not have an offer concert workshop? What the hell?
I don't know how people concentrate on Friday afternoon.
Wait, when is
We
it?
don't.
This Friday?
No, we don't have a choice.
No.
These teachers, like, I don't understand, we have time in after plans to do this, so I don't understand what this is for workshop.
It's so dumb.
We do so
Oh my goodness.
We do so much. Like we have things like we do like every single last half an hour.
Very tough, so you're like, it's not like the offer
Because they
concert.
teach us, yeah, and often we just don't do anything.
So why don't
But that's
Like if we have to like,
hello, you showed
you?
yo man, what are they gonna do? I can't even speak. So this next question is so funny. They let the paper get destroyed and now it's our.
Your problem.
Like this is really to do with real life situation.
Right, let's try the next question, guys.
Yeah, it's only 1 minute.
First,
Let's say my uncle. Okay. Actually, so you've got to think of round numbers. 2 minutes.
So where is Zoe?
What?
Where are they sitting down? Abu Dhabi.
You don't get email on the number ready. What we call it?
It's more space now.
Wait, I don't know. I think this question was nice. This question was not. Oh, no, so you know, this one for themselves, and then everybody says.
I
And you said that it's like, mostly because. So you see what it meant to them, so like, this one. Sorry, you know, actually see.
Yeah, right.
I got it.
Okay, right. Go start question 4. Let's go. Come. Okay. Right, question 4. If you haven't started it, start it, please.
A bit of market there.
It's like for real now.
Oh my God, what you want to I feel dead. I think my lip is sunburned. Oh, I don't feel like it.
Right, so that's H0, that's H1, right?
Sure, it's my last page. Yes. The rest of it is, oh, I think. Yes. Yes. Yeah. This is my entire thing. Physics, they don't know, they want to go back, I still not they want to. What they try to guys? I just did a flip file. This big thing in here. So
Is it a one tell test or a two tell test? The one tell, isn't it?
Less than.
Because you meant which stated that it's less than 12 hours, right?
Oh, wait.
Okay.
This is my stats book.
Okay, so between 2.5 and 5, right? They're looking at the 5% level, okay? So like somewhere between 2.5% and 5, right? Yeah. Yeah. I noticed it, but anyway.
What is that? So would this be a one time test? Yeah.
Okay, the other one tell test.
Are you last order during school?
Yeah.
No, the same.
I already had 10, that they're gonna have 20 in the same.
For what's the? Would you like to take it then?
They're having a party.
So we have, I think, next, but we're like half maybe just, I mean, like 0.5%. For that, that's the only.
Okay, so guys, they go to take a sample mean, right? Okay, we don't have, okay, the sample mean must live somewhere, okay, between, because it said it's not significant at the 2.5% level. In other words, it didn't fall into the red area, right? Okay, because it doesn't, if I say test this at the 2.5% significance level, it will have to fall into the red area. Do you agree? For a one tail test. Okay, but it doesn't fall into that case. But it does fall into that whole blue area, which is a 5% area, right? So the region that it lives, okay, is this yellow region here. Okay, X lives in that region over there. Somewhere between the 2.5% and the 5% significance level, right? That's where X bar lives. Okay, and X bar we know is equal to what?
So.
Because it says it's significant at the 5% level, right? Which means it falls into that blue, this blue region over here. If this represents an area of 5%, it's something significant, it falls into that significant area, right? So it falls into that 5% area, but it doesn't fall into that area which is 2.5%, right? So it must live in that yellow region over there. Okay. So what do we know? Okay, so first of all, I'm going to have to find this Z score over here and that Z score over there, right? So you got to find your critical Z score, okay, for when alpha is equal to 2.5%, and you got to find your critical Z score, okay, when alpha is equal to 5%. Right, so go get those Z scores. They should both be negative. Okay. Okay, so you should get two negative values there. So for the area of 2.5%, what you're going to look up? Okay, you're going to look up an H of Z score of, what's that going to be? 47.5%, right? Okay, so you're going to look up an area of 47.5%. So you're going to find an area of 0.475. Okay, and what does that give you for a Z score?
Negative 0.67.
No. Look up an area.
Like 9, 6.
The H of Z is 0.4. You're looking up the area and you find the Z score that goes with it. What did you get?
What, negative 1.96.
Negative 1.96 sounds about right. Okay, so the Z score here, okay, if I look at my Z score here, okay, the Z score there is equal to negative 1.96, right? Okay, now I need to find the Z score that goes over here, right? So there I'm looking at alpha is equal to 5%. The critical Z score,
Negative 1.64.
okay, so what you're going to look up? If it's 5%, you're going to look up an area of, so you use H of Z is equal to 0.45. That's 5. That's 0.5. Do you agree? So go look up an area of 0.45. What do you? Negative 1.645. Okay, so now this Z score over here is negative 1.645. Right. So I know that the X bar lives between negative 1.96 and negative 1.645, right? Okay. How do I get the Z score for my test statistic? How do I get that Z score? I've got a formula, right? Okay. So I've got this. You've got the Z score of your test must lie between what? Negative 1.96 and negative 1.645, right? Do you agree with that? How do I find the Z of it for a hypothesis testing? What's the formula we use? Got your formula sheet?
X bar.
Go find it, go find it.
X bar minus mu over sigma over root of n.
So I'm using this formula. Okay, right. Did they give us sigma?
Yes.
Yes, okay, so I'm going to solve this equation. So if I have X bar was what? 11.7, right? Okay. Mu was what? Mu is equal to 12, eh? Okay. Sigma is 0.5. This way. 0.5 over root n must be bigger than negative 1.96, less than negative 1.645. Are you happy with that? Okay, so we mu minus X bar minus mu. Okay, sigma over root n. Okay, so now if I times this, put it in the middle here, I get negative 1.96 less than, work out 11.7 minus 12, what's that? Negative 0.3. Negative 0.3 times root n with me? So my different times become root n times both sides by 0.5. Let me please, negative 1.6 times 0.5 is? Let's do this. Negative 1.9 times 0.5.
But 6 and in the middle.
Times 0.5. Now what you're going to divide by? Negative 0.3. And when you divide by negative, what happens? The direction they're facing. Okay, so root n is going to lie between this whole thing. Yeah, negative 0.3. Okay, and so you should end up, final answer should be
Run.
n between 7.52. So n is greater than 7.52 and less than 10.67, but they told you n has to be an integer. Okay, so n must lie between 8 and 11, eh? No, 8 and 10.
So how does that go to the bar working out the individual?
Why did that take?
So yeah, why was it 10 and not 11?
That's the thing about it.
So
Wait.
I think you
The number is bigger than 7.5. Okay, no. It has to be less than 10.67. It has to be less than 10.
oh, then it can't be 11.
Can't have 11 people. Okay. It's going to be more than 7,5 to, and it's going to be less, so you can. You can include the two end values, guys. Okay, they must be included actually. And it's bigger than or equal to 8, less than or equal. All right. Thanks, guys. That's the right hand side. I've moved it around. You should get this side to be 10,67. Left side to be 10,67, right? 7,5. 5.2. This goes with this, Emma. That goes with that. And this goes with that.
But instead of putting it in a,
Separately.
like the X scores.
You can look it up separately. You can do them separately.
Just use the date.
Yeah. No, this is what you can know. You're gonna have to work it out like this. I don't think you can use the other way. No, not really. I don't think. I might have been, but I don't think so. No, but don't think about the test. Let's see.